Welcome back to The Change Physician. I am Melissa Cady, the Challenge Doctor, going solo today on our Saturday Salutations, and I don't have my co-host, Kevin Cuccaro, but he is taking a little time off, so I am here in his place, going solo just to share with you on our Saturday Salutations what's happened in the podcast, what's coming up, and just to say hi to everyone out there. If you're seeing this on the Challenge Doctor, just because it's being cross-posted to the Challenge Doctor page, but this is actually coming from the Change Physician Facebook page. Feel free to check that out. If you don't know what the Change Physician is all about, you can go to thechangephysician.com, and whether you're a physician or a physician ally, you're more than welcome to join the community to hear any upcoming events or anything important to hear from the Change Physician. Of course, our podcast is a primary focus, and we have interviewed many guests and have discussions amongst ourselves as co-hosts, and those are on YouTube in video format, but you can find all the podcasts and all the typical venues for podcasts. So this is, I think, the second time I've done this little Saturday Salutations on my own. But what has happened recently, we had a couple of conversations regarding relationships, the struggles with that, and some of the important things to have successful ones, and referenced a couple things in our last couple podcasts. We had a two-part series on relationship awareness, but then we also talked about the things that matter and where we typically put our time and energy, and maybe the things we're taught as students, maybe they aren't as important as other things that we're not taught. So we go and dive a little bit into that in that episode, which was episode 173. That was released on Thursday the 17th, but this coming up week, we actually did a two-part. The first part will release sometime tomorrow, but Tim Creasy is a returning guest who works with ProSci and really on the human side of change, being that some of our challenges in life, there's just so many different things that are required to really implement successful change. And so the focus of part 1 and part 2 was on alignment hacks, and there's like a dozen of them, and this is based on a lot of their own research, actually implementing with companies and individuals. And so I think it's quite interesting just to hear how people that are part of the change process, some of the hacks that they use to try to help people with change. And of course, we do a deep dive on that to following up next Sunday. But this Sunday and Thursday will be Tim Creasy, part 1 and 2. And then, of course, the deep dive that Kevin and I have a conversation and our thoughts about that discussion. So that's going to be episode 176. So as far as from, anything going on, anything exciting, I would say trying to keep up with the Austin weather has been a challenge. One day it's freezing. The next day, the high is double what the high was the day before. So welcome to Austin, Texas. It is definitely quite variable, and the most predictable thing about the weather is that it is unpredictable. So just been busy at work, and I'm sure all of you have been too, or staying busy with family or children. And I hope you all have a wonderful Saturday. I would love to hear any comments or questions or anything you'd like to hear, potentially in future episodes with The Change Physician. You can always reach us through our website, thechangephysician.com, or on Facebook, the Facebook page, The Change Physician. You can also find us on Instagram, so you can find little pictures or reminders of episodes that are coming, and we can share that with you there, and you can keep up with our podcast. So until next time, and probably I will see you again with Kevin on our Saturday Salutations on the following, next Saturday. So y'all have a wonderful weekend. Take care.